Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Board Explorer, out on another exploration, another one of our little mini-series exploring Norfolk and the Broads. Just going to have a look at another church. Kevin and I have decided to have a look at a church that was a random selection. Church in the middle of nowhere. We're near Billockby, tiny little hamlet, farmland as you can see all around. And we saw the church and here it is, behind all of these trees. But the thing about this church is it's in a sad, ruinous state, as you will see. We've had a quick shunt round and now we're going to take you guys with us. The gate is there, closed, doesn't matter, because where the stone wall there that surrounded the church is no longer there. You can just walk through these trees here, which look like hazel trees. And then we come into, at first, what looks like a pretty lovely looking church. And it would be, if it wasn't for the fact that the tower beyond has collapsed. And pretty much most of the nave. What I'm going to do is I'm going to circumnavigate from the east end. Here is the big east window, leaded. Again, a bit like the other church that we've been to. No stained glass. I'm going to walk up this way, and just like the abbey that we saw, it's got these napped flints with the stone on the buttress here, and then a lot more flint all the way across. It looks absolutely divine. And you've got a window here, big old medieval window, but when you look inside that window you start to realise there's a whole load of pews of font and organ and bits and pieces that have been moved in there, that were originally in the nave. And this looks almost like a little separate building that's attached to it, which is a bit strange. But come around this side and you start to see where the ruins are. No idea what's happened to it. Can find out by looking online, I'm sure, but a couple of large windows here covered in ivy, and then the tower. Let's move round here. We can't get in, of course, because for health and safety reasons and to protect the fabric of the church, all this galvanized fencing is up. But if you get a poke through here past all these stinging nettles, you can just about see in. We'll make our way down to the west end where the tower is. It must have been an absolute fantastic church in its day with all that napping. Beautiful, and it's in the middle of nowhere here, fields. It makes you wonder if when it was around, the farms, the houses and the village was a lot closer, because it's pretty much very open here behind these trees. We'll just work our way around this side. I'm afraid there's more stinging nettles for me to encounter. And then looking up, you get the main tower, the great, I guess that's the west window, bit of brickwork around the top and all the pebbles. And then I'll just try and get through these stingers without stinging myself. I have got shorts on, I don't want to do too much of that. Again, can't get in, but we get a bit of a view. If I lift the camera up the top there, I'll weave round. These stinging, ouch! Stinging nettles are lethal. Come through this side towards, I'm guessing, the south, which is the main entrance, or was the main entrance. If I just come back up here, look, you can see holes in the sides, which I imagine were either windows or they would have been joists for floors. Come back round here under this wonderful lime tree. There's lots of limes circumnavigating the church. Come through here, and then we get the entrance, which is, unfortunately, it's got a new door on it. It's all locked up, so you can't get in. There's Kevin taking some photographs. But look at this amazing, this knap work here, all this hard work that went into producing this church. But what's happened? Haven't looked it up online. There's no signage or anything. It is in the middle of nowhere, and I don't suppose it gets that many visitors now. And the ivy, it's all around. It's an amazing find, isn't it, Kevin? Didn't expect to see this, did we?
No, not at all. It's like you say, with the amount of ivy that's growing all over it.
It's been here for a while. I mean, at one time I thought, oh, maybe it was bombed, you know, in the war or something, and it's just stayed like this all that time, but I don't think so. Although, well, it must have just collapsed, I suppose. So, just poke the camera through here and see, you can see the edge of the wall and the ivy, and just looking through there.
But on the other side of the church, you probably mentioned in the video, but the arches are still
the windows.
They're still intact.
Big windows, yeah. The arches are. So it's like the roof collapsed, really.
Yeah.
And the integral part of the tower. And yet when John Hewitt, there we go. When John Hewitt was interned here in 1860, at 68 years, it would have been absolutely lovely, I'm sure. Yeah. This is the little separate part which looks like a later chancel that was added, and seems to be, fortunately, completely unscathed. So one can only guess really that the roof timbers perhaps gave way, the whole roof came in one time. Yeah. Could have been a lightning strike or wind elements.
Apart from these few trees that are around it, you know, it's so open, really. Yeah, as you say, it could have been a lightning strike or anything.
Light aircraft may have crashed into it. We don't know, really. It could have been anything.
When you look at where the ivy is going onto this newer part, if that's not taken back, that's going to get into the thatch roof, and it's going to start affecting this side as well.
Yes, I wonder if they're trying to raise money, but there's no boards or anything, is it?
No, nothing at all.
It does look very forlorn.
Yeah.
But there we are, very interesting church to stumble across in the middle of nowhere, very evocative, especially when viewed from under the beauty of a lime tree like this, or I think these are hazels.
I hope you're enjoying this video. Why not help me make more and become a patron? A small donation really makes all the difference and keeps me out and about producing these magnificent presentations. So go to baldexplorer.com and become a patron today.
I don't normally get to do this, but this is a little postscript. Often when you're out and about, you haven't got time to look at your phone to check some facts and bits and pieces, or the phone is too small, or there's no signal, or whatever. But on this one, just as we were walking back to the car, I thought I'd see what information was about it, and then suddenly I got a bit of signal, and so here we go. So this is All Saints Church, Billockby. So I knew it was Billockby, but All Saints Church is the dedication, and it was hit by lightning, a lightning strike in the tower which brought down the nave in 1762. So since 1762 it's been like this. A lot of damage, not so much to the chancel, but the chancel was restored in 1872. So which is why that looks really nice and the thatch is there. And it sort of explains, but it's just been there, and I don't think there is much intention now to restore it. It's become a landmark, it says, in the area. But as you saw before, all the gubbins are inside the church. And also I read on the website, just as a final PS, is it's the only church in Norfolk, so the author of the website I visited says there isn't a key with a key holder address or number to access the key. Most of the churches, there's usually, you know, if it's not open, there's somebody you can go and get the key from. So, fascinating thing. Thank you so much for watching.